I've never done Strictly. I've got two left feet, I have no timing, and I've got about as much rhythm in me as Stonehenge. Plus, going on that show is not good for your marriage. The curse of Strictly would no doubt strike. There's no way that those female dancers could keep their hands off me. They're only human. But this dance competition has been one of the biggest success stories in TV history, bringing in celebrities who have little to no previous ballroom experience. The likes of my dear friend Anne Widdecombe, who of course will be joining us in a couple of minutes, being thrown around the studio like a handful of pizza dough in a performance judges described as a mixture of horror and comedy. How dare they? And who could forget TV news legend John Sargent, dragged across the polished dance floor like a discontinued Zanussi fridge. These plucky celebrities, alongside a few stars who do have experience of musical theatre, all demonstrate a sense of fun, hard work. They practice for hours on end, they give it their best, and demonstrate a willingness to laugh at themselves along the way. It really is one of the greatest TV formats of all time, but it now faces a mortal threat. The Telegraph newspaper report that the BBC are to receive a dossier of evidence to support serious complaints about one of Strictly's professional dancers, the pneumatic Italian powerhouse Giovanni Pernice, a man with a six-pack so robust you could eat your breakfast off it. A number of celebrities who took part in the competition have employed top lawyers to file complaints about injuries and mental anguish suffered in training. The corporation is gathering evidence about claims of brutal training methods, bruised limbs, and a grueling boot camp atmosphere. Now, Pernice has previously said that he is merely a perfectionist who wants to get his partners ready for Strictly's Saturday night shows, whilst also caring for them greatly. He strenuously denies the allegations and has won support from other previous partners like the lovely Debbie McGee. But TV actress Amanda Abingdon, who starred in Sherlock, left Strictly halfway through for medical reasons, subsequently saying that she'd been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder after her stint on the show. She was partnered by Pernice. Meanwhile, another of his partners on the 2016 series, Laura Whitmore, spoke of her time on Strictly, writing, "I was placed with a dance partner I was extremely uncomfortable with. In the end, I felt broken. I cried every day." Now, these allegations against Pernice are multiple and very serious. Mental trauma, physical injuries, these claims must be addressed. If Pernice's female partners have suffered physically or mentally, my heart goes out to them, and it saddens me to hear that the likes of Whitmore, a wonderful broadcaster, or Abingdon, a huge acting talent, should be reduced to tears. But folks, welcome to showbiz. This is a TV programme with millions of viewers. The pressure to win is enormous, the competition fierce. Giovanni Pernice is an extraordinary physical specimen, a gifted dancer with a performance CV as long as your arm. This guy is the best in the business and has won Strictly in the past because, yes, he is a perfectionist. If you do a dance competition and you want to win, you're going to have aching limbs, bruised feet, and grazed knees. I get that from doing this show. Strictly is going to be physically and mentally draining. You're going to land on your backside. That happens on this show. There will be bumps and scrapes, sweat, blood, and yes, tears. Now, if anything truly egregious or inappropriate has happened that goes beyond high standards and healthy competition, then yes, Pernice must face the consequences of his actions. But let me tell you, you don't get to the top by accident. We know that Gordon Ramsay, the world's most famous and successful chef, is famously fierce in the kitchen with a mouth dirtier than a Ford Transit van. Margaret Thatcher, a woman whose cabinet meetings whilst in high office were about as jolly as a trip to Colditz. Sir Alex Ferguson, famous for the hairdryer treatment, in which his yelling was so loud in your face it literally felt like warm air was blowing in your direction. It's no accident that he is arguably the greatest British manager in the history of football. No pain, no gain. But in these woke times where your feelings matter more than the facts, and with mental health now becoming an industry fueled by counsellors charging by the minute, and pharmaceutical giants offering a solution in a bottle, it seems that high standards, tough love and excellence are no longer acceptable. Everything's got to be touchy-feely and caring and sharing. The BBC should stand up for their star Italian dancer, but I think it's more likely that their next choreographed move will be to throw him under the bus. Whether guilty or not, Giovanni Pernice has probably had his last dance.